Welcome into the DNVR Rockies Podcast. I am Patrick Lyons.
I'm Suzie Hunter. Wow, what a fun series win we just had.
Series win against the Pirates.
Who swept us last time we saw them.
I mean, I don't know where to begin. How about our fingernails? That was probably the most nail-biterific game of the season. In more ways than one.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we've gotten so used to the Rockies winning that that ninth inning, once it got a little messy, once it got a little dicey, I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen?
Absolutely. There were a couple of those moments throughout the game on Wednesday. A 4-3 victory for the Colorado Rockies. They finished their road trip to New York and Pittsburgh 4-2. They won both games, both series against the Mets and the Pirates. They're 7-2 in May, going back to April 30th, which was a win against the Diamondbacks on Sunday. 8-2, best record in all of MLB.
Ooh.
Let me say that again. Colorado Rockies have the best record, and we're not talking about a one-day record, because anytime they win a game, you go, hey, that's the best record today, because...
Unless someone played a doubleheader.
You know what,
look at me overcomplicating. Who am I, Patrick Lyons?
Overcomplicating? No, having the right answer is what you've got there. But they've got the best record in all of MLB. It's absolutely unbelievable. So many different players chipping in, so many career firsts for a lot of these guys. Just an outstanding performance and a really good week. And now a lot more excitement going into that Philly series, as if, we needed any, with Bryce Harper obviously coming back, the NL champs. But now it's like, okay, let's see what this team can do. They've kind of dug themselves out of a hole just a little bit, and now maybe we're seeing the best version of the Rockies, or maybe this just is the Rockies.
This is, I believe that we're looking at just the best version of them all coming together right now, or with what we have available. Because again, like, so many people are injured.
Yes.
So many dudes that we wish we had around are injured. I will say, though, I think now that Bryce Harper is back with the Phillies, it's a good thing that this team is clicking right now, that they have this great momentum, because they will need it when Philly comes to town.
No updates just yet. Nathan in the chat wanting to know what happened with Antonio Senzatela. Of course, that's the latest injury. He leaves in the third inning, gave up 2 home runs. We don't, but I mean, it's precautionary, so obviously there's potential injury. So you're right in that case. But yeah, he'd given up a 2-run home run to Andrew McCutchen, a second home run he had given up in that game. Rockies were down 3-0, and you lose your guy that you hope is gonna keep the Pirates at bay, no pun intended. But at that point, you go, well, all right, at least they won one against the Pirates. They avoided a full sweep, like we talked about on Tuesday's show. They had never had a winless season against the Pirates. They had only had one season where they had won only one game. So therefore, it was only logical that they were going to win both games against the Pirates. That's what we kind of said. We didn't say that, but we said it could happen, and it did happen. They won both games. Unbelievable.
Yes. This is great. This is great.
Peter Lambert comes into the game there, does a nice job, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts. His first appearance in 2023. First appearance since 2021.
Yeah, so since September 2021, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good to see him again. As you know, he is my pick for the best start. So I'm like, okay, come on, get into starter shape. Let's go.
That's right. Yeah, he stretched out, looked nice, looked incredibly confident. Maybe he will be next up for a start. Obviously, they've got... Probably with the day off on Thursday, he'll be able to have probably 5 days of rest if needed. And if Senzatela can't make that start, then you probably would pencil Peter Lambert in to make that start. He, of course, wearing number 20. Last time you saw him, he was wearing number 23. He did give up that jersey to Chris Bryant. Last year at spring training, asked him about that. And he was just like, what do you mean? Like, what? He's 23 and I'm not now, and that's that. So he didn't get the Rolex, or as Nate commented on Twitter, he should have gotten a Lambo. Lambo should have been given a Lambo to give up his jersey. It makes sense.
Does it not count if you're injured?
Maybe. That's
I guess so, because he wasn't going to be wearing any number that season anyway.
I guess so. That could have been it.
I wish Lambo got a Lambo out of it. I hate that for him.
The 4th inning was where the Rockies came through in a big way. It all got started by our Rookie of the Year, Ezequiel Tovar walked to start that inning, ended up stealing a base, and the Rockies coming through in a big way with 2 outs. 2-out rally. Randall Grichuk had an RBI double. Austin Wynn's RBI single. He's been impressive since they've picked him up. Alan Trejo with an RBI single. And Tovar's stolen base, first of his career. First time batting second in his career as well.
Okay, so we got to keep him at second. And, I'm surprised that he hasn't had a stolen base yet this year, but this is fun. This is exciting. This is exactly what we want to see out of these young guys, especially Tovar. I want to see some stolen bases. I want to see some rowdy behavior on the base path.
Somewhere on one of the accounts, because other people run my account too, right? Like
okay.
We should have that disclaimer, to really just...
I'm the only one who runs my account, but you do you.
Well, look, if we need to dissolve ourselves from any kind of situation, it could be somebody else. But I thought it would be interesting to see what happens if Brenton Doyle continues to play how he does, if he could even possibly be in line for a third place Rookie of the Year award vote from someone out there who sees his play and says, hey, this guy deserves some acknowledgement.
That throw. My goodness.
Unbelievable. So, the defense was super crisp. Doyle did an amazing job in that. I want to say it was the 6th inning. Daniel Bard struggles a little bit. We'll talk about him in a second. Bases loaded, only 1 out, and fly ball to center field. Doyle's momentum is going forward. Catches it, throws home, fires out the runner at home plate. Nice job by Austin Wynn's with a nice little deke. Tags the runner out. That ball was thrown 98.1 miles an hour. Second fastest recorded this season by StatCast on an outfield assist.
Wow.
Yeah,
the arm on that kid.
Yeah, that was amazing. The arm on Austin Wynn's, who recorded 2 caught stealings today, both against Connor Joe. Too bad, so sad.
It's Connor Joe, come on. What are you doing?
Rockies catchers are now, or rather, base runners are 18 for 34 against Rockies catchers, which means they're only barely over 50%. They're at the 53%. So Rockies are the best at preventing the running game. They're trying. They're running against the Rockies, but it's not working out. Jerry Weinstein, the catching guru, obviously must be helping these guys in some way. The Rockies
doing something,
shutting down the running game. Absolutely impressive. They did take the lead with Jerks and Profar's single off our old friend Robert Stevenson.
Robert Stevenson, yes, old friend.
So
he looked much tanner than he did when he was with the Rockies.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
Which you wouldn't think would be possible in Pittsburgh, where I think this is the first time it's been sunny for 3 consecutive days in Pittsburgh since 1983. And not that many people know that, but that was a fun little fact that I researched thanks to Baseball Reference. Yeah, they've got weather information too. I don't know.
Why wouldn't they?
Senzatela, still no update on the injury for that. Daniel Bard, starting to get a little concerned. I mean, it's been up and down. It hasn't been awful. Today's outing, not great. He does give up 2 walks, gives up a single, okay, but then also has a wild pitch. I like that he was able to come back and get a strikeout of Connor Joe. Connor Joe was on the wrong end of a lot of things.
Poor Connor Joe. Just out there doing his job, and the Rockies are not letting him have it.
Yeah. So Bard gets out there. Brad Hand gets him out of the jam. Hand with 1 2/3 scoreless innings pitched. So nice job by the bullpen, and Justin Lawrence doing the job in the 8th.
Sweeper be sweeping.
Should his nickname just be the Sweeper?
Maybe.
Could be.
Corey Sullivan would hate it. That's the hill he's going to die on. I've been watching the TV broadcasts, and he refuses to acknowledge the sweeper. He's like, no, it is just a slider.
Will he acknowledge it as being legitimate if there's a shirt? Because again, we might have to. If Kenny Omega is the cleaner, Justin Lawrence has to be the sweeper, right?
Maybe.
See?
Maybe.
Getting on board with my wrestling takes. I do appreciate that. Pierce Johnson with the nail biter in the 9th, but got the job done.
Yeah, I was stressed in the 9th.
That was a wild one. And I haven't gotten any response yet they're working on it. It takes a while. The big supercomputer down at Elias Sports Bureau. But when was the last time you had nearly a 22-year age gap between a Rockies hitter and an opposing pitcher? Because Tovar's 21, Rich Hill's 43. It actually is a difference of 21 years and some change. I did look it up real quick. Jamie Moyer, age 47 with the Phillies, faced a pair of 24-year-olds in Dexter Fowler and Carlos Gonzalez. So,
oh my gosh,
it still might be in the top 5, maybe top 10 of all-time matchups, but I thought that was an interesting juxtaposition between those two guys.
I mean, Rich Hill's been doing this since long before Tovar was born.
Yeah.
He's like double his age.
2005, I think, was Rich Hill's debut. So Tovar was already born. I was hoping that we would have
oh my gosh,
that situation. And I didn't look up to see if Jamie Moyer had debuted before Cargo or Dexter Fowler were born.
Ooh,
possible.
This is wild. But yeah,
It's
Rich
possible.
Hill, the fact that he's still out there doing it.
He's doing it. Doing
Old
it
as
well.
dirt. Ancient.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Just unbelievable.
Tuesday was a 10-1 win. Actually, another note too from Wednesday's game. Do you know how long the game was? Today's game. Yeah.
Today's game. Wednesday's game.
It felt long, but we've been saying that, and it's like 2:25, and you're like, oh, I guess it wasn't that long.
Was it 2:40?
3 hours, 8 minutes.
No, this was the longest game. Oh my gosh, we broke the seal. We cracked open the box.
So we've had time records in 3 of the last 4 games, because Sunday was the longest game, Monday was the quickest game, Tuesday was nothing, and now Wednesday we have a new longest game record.
This is wild.
I like thinking about baseball in terms of time now. Like, it's just this interesting element. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when they started like doing pitch counts or like tracking the pitches, and you go, oh, well, was that the fastest curveball ever recorded, or the best separation between a fastball and a changeup, stuff like that. The more stats, please give us more statistics. Now we can look at time as a statistic.
Patty stats over here.
I do. I love it.
You love it.
I absolutely love the 10-1 win by the Rockies on Tuesday. Second time in 3 days that Colorado had scored 10 or more runs. Again, on the road, folks. Road Rockies.
That was a juicy game. That was a lot of fun.
That was good.
That game got cracked wide open.
And Connor Siebold almost got overlooked a little bit because of all those runs and how exciting that was. But first big league win.
Good for him.
I hadn't realized that because, I knew he had plenty of experience with Boston, but hadn't gotten that win just yet. Now he's got one.
Yeah. I mean, I looked it up. He had like 5 or 6 starts with Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent amount.
Yeah, decent amount.
He didn't really get into too many jams. His last start at Coors Field gave up the 3 solo home runs. As we know, it can hurt you, but it won't break your back, right? Like, you can just put some salve on it, some icy hot, you're going to be okay. I think that's the quote. Is that the quote? Or did I just add some flair to it?
I think you're just improving at this point.
No. But he was definitely bouncing on a tightrope. Had a couple jams.
Yes.
And got out of pretty much all of them, right? He only gave up the 1 run.
That's true. Yeah. No, there were definitely some jams that I was relieved he got out of, and that is just a great thing to see.
Yeah. Yes, as someone in our Diehards Only Discord said, they don't call him C bold for nothing. He's not C timid. He's C bold.
There we go.
Thanks to all the homies
I gotta
there.
say, this season, the members only Discord is absolutely popping.
Right?
I was in there today during the game. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys care.
It's
I love it.
Yeah. It's legitimately Scroll City, where you're like, you're just going back and you're like, what? Usually it's like your last comment is the last time that you were there. So then you're like, where is my comment? I'm like, man, it's just going like 24/7 too in the middle of the night. Yeah, it's loving the diehards. Bullpen, 4 scoreless innings that we had on Tuesday's game. So props to Brent Suter, Jake Bird, Nick Mears, who had 2 scoreless innings pitched.
2 innings for Nick Mears. Let's
go.
Let's do this.
That was absolutely fantastic. You love to see that. And you love to see everybody down at the DNVR bar who was celebrating the Game 5 win of the Nuggets over the Suns. They have to go back to Phoenix. So now the only ball in town is baby ball.
That's when the bar's really popping, when the Nuggets are on the road. I was here last night for a bit for that game.
You were there.
And it was a lot of fun.
Photographing Marissa holding on with her therapy paper towels.
Roll of paper towels. No matter what, she's going to find a roll of paper towels and hold it because she's stressed.
So again, besides the fact that you can join our watch party, if you're a diehard, you get 15% off your food and drink, all of it. You also get to bump into us and see all of our weird mannerisms.
Because we're what we do during weird. The game.
Very weird.
So weird.
That's free of charge too. You don't have to be a diehard to experience
You don't.
That.
You can just show up and be like, oh my God, why is Suzie doing that? Why is Marissa doing that? Like, what is happening?
But if you sign up and you're a diehard, you get 20% off all your merch. here at the bar, as well as online. So you can ship it out to some folks all around Nuggets and Rockies Nation, as it were, and 20% off all the takeovers, which we're working on getting another one. Not official yet, but we're working on our next one, and that is going to sell quickly. Again, if you're a diehard, you get 20% off those tickets as well.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And
should we tease what series it might be in?
Let's just say it's in June.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already just said it. What if you said no? You're like, no, let's not do that. Let's do. I'm like, oh wow. I didn't really set myself up for success there. But it could be in June.
It could be in June.
Now
That's
the
what we're looking at.
Diamondbacks, they've been having theirs during the week. We've done ours on the weekends. What's it going to be? I don't know. You might have to listen to like an entire DNVR Rockies podcast just to find out this kind of information. Or you could follow us on Twitter at DNVR_Rockies. Sorry, snapped out of that. No, Game Time tickets is what I want to talk about.
Yes.
Because when you use code DNVR, you get $20 off your first purchase, which is amazing. There's a lot of the ticket prices have already been reduced, but you can get up to about 60% off the face value of a ticket if you wait closer to the start of the event. So if you go 2.5, 2 hours, up to an hour before the event starts, you can get discounted tickets. And if you use that code DNVR for your first time, you might even be able to get tickets for free.
Yeah, that's the beauty of $20 off. There's just some great deals on Game Time.
Yeah. Rockies right now are trending down in the tickets. I think I know I did actually. Tweeted out the fact that attendance is down 4,000 per game, most in all of MLB.
Wow.
MLB attendance is up in general, but just not at Coors Field. Wow. So it's down 4,000. Right now, ticket prices look to be up higher than what we've seen it all year for these upcoming series against the Phillies and Reds. But again, you wait closer to the first pitch and they're going to come down and you'll get it less than face value. Thanks to the folks over at Game Time. And thanks to the folks at Pins and Aces. I've got my awesome Pins and Aces red cap.
That is a nice cap.
You can see me in a crowd.
Yeah,
easily.
you can find you.
My wife usually has to like whistle or like snap her fingers for me to come by. She doesn't have to do that. She can just see me in a crowd with this beautiful hat on. And they've got all the different colors that you can name, different styles as well. They've got polos. They've got the liquor stick. So it looks like a little putter that you can sneak in your bag. And well, you don't have to sneak the putter in. You put that in. It's the liquor inside that is getting snuck, as well as a beer sleeve, which is also for the sneaky sneakers.
The beer sleeve and the liquor stick are just like the most genius inventions ever.
It like legitimately, I think, is going to get people into golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm like, oh, I can take tequila shots while I golf? Yeah, say less.
Yeah.
I'm there.
It's like bowling. Great, fun. We love doing that with our friends over at Volo Sport. But it's an indoor activity and you want to be outdoors, this time of year. And you want to drink and you want to wait for the cart to come around or maybe get overcharged at the 19th hole. Pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR to get 15% off your first order, and you get free shipping on top of that. Love to see that.
Can we get into some of the comments right now?
I would love to.
So Nathan May popped in, and he's right because we have heard Patrick Saunders tweeted this out a few minutes ago. Bub Black says Antonio Senzatela has right forearm tightness. He'll be examined tomorrow in Denver.
No, thank you. Not good.
Ooh, I mean, I'm hoping that this is just precautionary. I'm hoping we're just being overly cautious because of the state of our rotation right now. But holy crap.
Wow.
We cannot afford to lose Senza after we just got him back, after we just lost Marquez. This is too much.
Avs are going to be without Gabriel Landeskog for 2 years. Could that happen with the Rockies and Antonio Senzatela? Again, that's a worst case scenario, right? Because they lost him last August with the ACL injury, but the right forearm tightness is an indicator there's something not going on very well there, which is a little strange in a sense. And again, we are not doctors and we barely even pretend to be them on podcasts, but his arm has had a lot of time to rest in doing the ACL surgery and kind of rehabbing from that. His fastball was up in that first start, right? He was thrown at 97, which is a good sign. I don't think he was overthrowing. He was very effective in that outing on Friday in New York. So, it seemed like everything was going well. So that's a bummer. Is he going to have to get injections? Yeah, on one hand, you go, oh, could it be like Marquez where if he does go on the 15-day IL for pitchers, maybe he can come back in the minimum and be able to make his start, which Marquez did. But then Marquez also re-aggravated that injury and then needed Tommy John surgery. So that's bad.
The thing that made me hopeful, Kelsey Wingert tweeted out this because, she's sitting right next to the dugout.
Yeah.
She noted that he was not, immediately attended to by trainers right after he came out of the game. So I'm like, well, if it was something dire, then there would have been a little more sense of urgency about it, right? So I'm hoping that it's nothing. But oh my goodness, it might not be nothing.
Yeah, again, I'm so curious as to, and I wasn't able to see it on the AT&T Sportsnet broadcast. Like, was there a grimace? Did Austin Wynns notice something as he has tapped in, as Elias Diaz is tapped in with his guy Marquez?
You know what? I mean, they all just, the mound visit happened after he gave up that home run. Right. So, it didn't seem out of the ordinary.
No. Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't.
The other thing where you go, all right, well, when there's an injury to a body part, the other body parts have to step up and can you can over-exacerbate in those areas. And so that's what happens. You have a bad ankle and you can't push off. Now you're using your shoulder more. So throughout his rehab process and trying to ramp things up, was his lower half, was his ACL not ready to come back? And so his arm is overcompensating and not taking on, additional weight to look normal when really there was still an imbalance and maybe he wasn't ready to come back. Maybe it was a rush situation. Don't know who, not pointing any fingers. Also don't know if that's even the case, but you can certainly at least, surmise that in a sense. Zach pointing out in the chat, welcome Zach Gebhardt. Bullpen, man, just sizzle.
Ooh,
fantastic.
I love that. Thank you for giving me this. Thank you for speaking my language.
I think I saw on the broadcast they're 13-2 now, 14-2 with today's win when leading after 6 innings. Oh. They've been, again, we said it at the start of the year, this bullpen was going to be really good, and the worry is if the starting pitching doesn't hold up. Thank you. Yeah. Doesn't hold up their end of the bargain. We need a compilation tape, by the way, of all the times you do that. That would be great.
Well, sometimes when you talk about the bullpen, you jinx it. So I'm just.
There we go.
Knocking on wood.
That's it. Is that wood? Can we confirm?
This is wood.
Is Parker board
This is not wood. This is wood. Is it? This is wood. Is any of this wood? This is wood. Yeah, it's wood. It's made of wood.
It's wood-ish.
It's made of wood.
It's wood-like.
It's more wood than this.
Yeah.
This is just plastic. This is
woodish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone get me a block of wood, please. My God.
We used to have keychains, DNVR keychains.
Yeah,
that was
actually,
like a piece of wood.
My keys have a little wooden sticker on. We're going to derail the show for a moment.
We are.
Alyssa, can you slide me my bag?
She's really serious. All right, while you're doing that, what I was going to say about the bullpen is, again, very talented, but if the starting rotation isn't...
This is wood.
There you go. It's cork, I think, but...
No, it's wood.
Okay.
It's not cork.
Your car alarm's going off. What are you doing?
It's not cork, it's wood.
It's woodish.
No, it's
still woodish.
It's wood.
But if the starting rotation's not doing their job, the bullpen's going to get taxed, and then it's going to be May, June, and they're going to be wiped out, and we're not going to see their best. Kind of like Jake Bird. Look, I said it. I'll go on record. I was like, I think Jake Bird's season's just going to be up, down, because he just couldn't, get his sea legs under him because you're just using him so much. He's having a bad outing. He had the oblique injury in spring training, and it was just one of those weird kind of seasons, and yet he's been one of the best relief pitchers in baseball, the best relief pitchers in baseball since the second week of the season. Jake Bird. Unbelievable.
I believe, is he at the top of the list in terms of most innings pitched by an NL reliever?
Gobbling up innings, gobbling up strikeouts. Jake Bird, he's a greedy bird.
He's a turkey.
And you know what they say about
he's a turkey. If he's gobbling, hello.
And you know what? You know what you in bowling, what you call it when you get 3 strikes in a row?
That's a turkey.
That's a turkey. So that's it. So when Jake Bird strikes out 3 in an inning, that is worth a free turkey club sandwich here. Is that turkey?
I speak Turkish, yeah.
Turkish? A lot of issues going around today.
I've actually been waiting to do this sound on the show for such a long time.
You've been prepping a whole bit about bird and turkey?
I've been waiting for the opportunity.
What?
Next time I see Jake Bird on Friday, I'm just going to be like, hey, does this make sense to you? And I'm like, what the fuck?
I got to make sure I'm filming that.
He you will hate it. I guarantee it. I'm sorry. Continue what you were saying. The bullpen. What a great time to be the Rockies bullpen.
What a great time to be in the Rockies bullpen. Not as good. It's more of a commitment. That's it.
Thank you.
You must have drank a lot of Turkey Hill iced tea back in the Wawa days of Philly.
Did.
You did?
That's a deep cut right there.
You are what you drink.
Turkey Hill ice cream, too.
You are what you drink. All right, every Rocky in the starting lineup on Tuesday had a base hit, except Tovar. That's okay. He scored a run, had an RBI. McMahon, 2 RBI triple. I think he had a double today. He's breaking out. He
is trying to just pry himself out of that rut that he has been in. I was so happy to see that triple yesterday. I low-key shouted at the TV.
Yeah, he's been in a McRut, but he's getting himself out. CJ Cron had his first RBI of the month. He's been struggling.
He's been up and down, yeah.
He came up with 2 outs, so you kind of can give him a break, but the bases were loaded, so the pressure was on the Pirates in that moment. Wasn't able to do anything, grounded out. He's 0 for 10 since the start of last year with the bases loaded. How about that? That's wild.
CJ Cron, don't put that much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And
CJ Cron, give yourself a break.
And our Turkey Hill turkey of the game yesterday was Jerickson Profar. 2 home runs.
Yes.
His first since April 24th. Got dropped to 7th in the lineup, but again, came through in a big way. The 78th player in franchise history with a multi-homer game. Suzie, let's play. Did they hit 2 or more home runs with the Rockies in a game?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
So this
is a real game.
Did they hit 2 or more home runs with the Rockies in a game?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Vinny Castilla.
Yes.
Yes, 27 times, second most in franchise history, behind Todd Helton, of course.
Makes sense.
Ryan Spielborgs.
No.
5 times.
What? Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy.
Let's clip this and just send it right over.
Don't ever show him.
To Sirius XM radio.
Sorry, Billy.
All right. Corey Sullivan.
Yes.
No. Damn it. That's okay. You guessed the right way, though.
I don't want to offend
way.
the people that I sit next to in the press box.
Right. Speaking of Tracy Ringlesby. No. Garrett Hampson.
No.
I'm shocked you didn't guess yes. He did.
Did it happen last year?
He had 3 2-home run games.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's pretty good.
I forgot. How quickly we forget.
It's falling off the rails. Let's bring it back. Come on. Let's bring it back.
Okay, this is off the rails.
Focus.
Okay.
Eric Young Sr.
Yes.
Eric Young Jr.
Yes.
Ooh, you got the first one. Senior did it. Junior did not. Our man in AAA, Elias Montero.
No.
There was the light in your eye remembering the game last year where he did it.
Oh my gosh.
And yet...
Am I bad at my job?
No, it's okay. How about Chris Bryant?
No.
Yes.
Wait, when?
He had a 2-home run game in Arizona last year in between month-long IL stints.
Oh my gosh.
Blink and you'll miss it. All right.
Get me off of this podcast. If anyone wants my job, clearly I'm not supposed to be here.
You've legit only... Oh, no, you've gotten 2 so far. All right, this is worth 8 points, so you'll be okay. You will still win this game. Germán Marquez.
I feel like he has. He's a silver slugger.
Final answer?
Yes. No.
No, he didn't. No. He's had 2 in his career, but not in the game.
They were in the same game? Okay, that's crazy.
They were not.
I want to start asking pitchers, do you ever miss hitting?
I had that thought too, because Noah Davis will never know what it's like to hit. Brent Suter has hit a couple times. So who's going to be the last active pitcher who had a plate appearance?
Wow.
Or at bat. Yeah.
I've got to say though, I don't miss making pitchers hit.
No.
I don't miss it. I can't believe anyone was ever against the universal DH.
Yeah, that's just it's just a bad take. If you were upset, there's strategy. It's strategy of just bringing a guy off the bench to hit in that one moment. Mm-hmm. Just start that guy. How about you just start that guy? Come on. And the National League was literally the only league in all of baseball, including college, Japan, South Korea, where they didn't use the DH. So come on, they were kind of in the minority. But you can be in the majority and join over 200,000 people who have given Shady Rays a 5-star review.
We're in an ad.
That's a top 10 segue, I think. That was a good one. Buy one, get one right now. When you use code DNVR.
Such a good deal.
Over at Shady Rays, a fantastic independent sunglass company. We both have a pair because we take care of our glasses. But we also have a pair because even if one of us didn't, we're not going to point fingers, but if one of us didn't, it's okay because they have a lost and broken replacement policy. So if you
love my lost replacement sunglasses.
That's it. So if you happen to run over your glasses as you're backing out at Coors Field and break them, they will go ahead and replace them.
I didn't do that.
You're giving yourself away. I was just giving a hypothetical.
I didn't do that.
I know, but now people are going to think that you did.
No, everyone knows I don't break my sunglasses. I just lose them.
Oh, see, I was trying to avoid that. I don't want to point fingers. I'm
here for honesty.
You are.
This is honesty hour right now.
And you know what? Shady Rays appreciates honesty too, because if you don't like how your glasses look within 30 days,
oh my gosh,
you can return them and get a full refund. It's great. Or you can go to the Park Meadows Mall if you're like, no, I don't want to go through that rigmarole of shipping things out and getting them sent. Go to the Park Meadows Mall, buy 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses, and you get 50% off those bad boys.
Such a good deal.
Yeah. Use promo code DNVR if you are shopping online. And go to breckbrew.com to get your Mile High City Golden Ale. It's given Nikola Jokic that it factor to win Game 5. I think. That's in my opinion. I can't confirm that, but I sort of feel like that's been the magic there. So when you're watching Game 6 at home, and you can't make it down to Baby Ball here at the DNVR bar, that's okay. Go to Breck Brew, to the Breck Brew locator, and find out where you can get some Mile High City Golden Ale.
That has to be my favorite of the Brecks. And I love Breck.
Yep.
But like the Mile High City Golden Ale is my new favorite.
It's amazing.
Has been ever since we had the release party a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Where we built the beer tower.
Built it.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
Someone else destroyed it.
Yeah.
We left it up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to see how long this lasts. So I actually don't know who had to take it down. Hopefully it was easier to take down than it was to put up.
Is there somebody that gets hired or is in charge of that at Wrigley Field when they do the cup snakes? Do they just leave that behind? How does that work? Yeah.
You know, usually cup snakes fall apart. That's how they reach their demise.
That's just Mother Nature just kind of taking its course?
Yes.
Okay.
The cups giveth, the cups taketh away.
And if I was a kid, I would not have contributed to a cup snake because I used to collect the cups. I would go. In fact, I would even after games walk around to see like who left their cup behind if someone had a collector's cup, and I would grab those too, bring it home, and then I had souvenir cup.
Look at you.
That was what I did.
Yeah, of course you would. I'm so mad. When I was at A's games in Anaheim.
R.I.P.
Not A's games, Angels games.
Okay.
Angels games in Anaheim. Sorry, I've got A's on the mind. I see your comment, A's to Las Vegas.
Look, you can't spell
face.
Angels without A''S.
I'm sometimes not smart. We obviously know from this past segment that I just don't have a brain today, and it's fine. I'm more fun when I'm stupid. It just happens. So anyway, when I was at Angels games in Anaheim, the souvenir cup, they were Shohei Ohtani cups.
Oh.
And it was a fireworks game too, but me and my best friend left our cups at the ballpark.
What?
I know. And I was actually so sad.
That's an item that legit I'm sure people are selling on eBay.
Yeah, no, I was really sad about it. Don't you worry.
All right, now you know what to get Suzie for her half birthday.
Which is June 21st.
In June. Because I know your birthday is in December, so
June
therefore
21st.
the half birthday is the one.
Yeah,
to celebrate.
My birthday, we know, is the first day of winter, and my half birthday is the first day of summer.
What?
I
The
know.
longest and shortest days. Talk about being on polar opposites.
I know.
I didn't say bipolar, but being polar opposites.
I'm not bipolar. I'm just depressed.
You're not, yeah.
I'm just depressed and anxious. It's different.
I want to get to some gossip, but a couple other, quick little pieces of information. Tyler Kinley, 2 weeks ahead of schedule, could be ready before the All-Star break. Let's go.
We love a Tyler Kinley who's ahead of schedule, but I don't want him to push it. But the bullpen's definitely going to need it, especially with all the work we've been giving them.
Who are you getting out of the bullpen? This bullpen is is dominant. You might even be able to have a legit bullpen game. All right, that's the first question of Buddy on Friday with all these dudes, right? Mm-hmm. Especially multiple inning dudes.
Okay, don't jinx it because we know lots of things happen.
Cork it. Tap
It's
that cork.
not cork. It is wood, Patrick. Feel it. It's not cork.
Oh, yeah, that is cork.
No. You are exhausting.
Look, I used to be a vintner, okay? So I know cork when I touch cork.
That's not cork.
I was never a vintner. All right. Rockies also had a couple slam opportunities. Those are obviously Grand Slam opportunities. They've still yet to have one since Philadelphia in September of 2021. Had two in the last 2 days. Couldn't get it done. Awful. And Suzie, I don't know if you saw on Jeopardy last week. Are you a big Jeopardy fan?
The only show I watch are when the Rockies are on the road.
The Rockies show?
The Rockies, this show.
What's your favorite show on TV? The Rockies show.
The Rockies.
The Club.
The Club.
The Club. What is that?
I love the Club. Love watching the Gombers go to the zoo the other day.
Yes, that's the new one. That's the new one. Do they do them like every month or is it like every week? Because I feel like every time I'm at the ballpark, I'm seeing new clips of something.
Yeah, no, I think they do that show every week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, they do it. They do a wonderful job.
They do. Maybe that is my favorite show. Oh my gosh.
My parents pointed it out that last week on Jeopardy, this was the final Jeopardy question. And so the category was team names.
Okay.
An MLB team got this name in 1902 after some of its players defected to a new crosstown rival, leaving young replacements.
What?
An MLB team. So nicknames used to be somewhat amorphous. They would jump around. One of my favorite stories is the fact that the Pirates got their name because they took a lot of players from other teams. So the scribes, the writers, started calling them the Pittsburgh Pirates, even though they were the Pittsburgh Alleghenies at the time.
I love an organic nickname.
Yes, and so this would have also been organic. An MLB team got this nickname in 1902 after some of its players defected to a new crosstown rival. So they lost a bunch of guys, and all they were left with were young players.
Young players.
Think of the old school teams who have been around for a while.
Young players.
Yes.
I mean, is it the A's?
No.
No, okay.
They were around then. All right,
Yeah.
I like that. And there were two teams in Philadelphia at that time.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the other teams in the city necessarily. Although there are two teams in the city still to this day.
Oh, still to... Okay, this is...
Young.
Was it one of the New York teams?
No.
Okay.
Not Giants, Dodgers, or Yankees, or Highlanders.
So I guess it must have been a Chicago team.
Which means the answer is... By the way, if you're playing the Jeopardy themed song, it's over.
It's the Cubs. Got
Bingo.
it. Okay. We're here.
Chicago Cubs.
Cubs, because they're young.
And you have the Bears too in town, but
Yes.
they got the young boys. Actually, I don't even know if the Bears were around back then. Don't know. But young Cubs, I think that's pretty cool. I love that.
I like that.
That's
okay, I
good.
didn't know that.
That's good.
And I thought about it, and I got it after guessing every other team that had two baseball teams
That's
in their market.
it. I still don't know why you guessed Expos. But anyway, you got it right. You figured it out. And for that, you should dish some gossip.
All right, I'm going to dish some gossip. It's my turn now to ask you some questions that you might know, you might not know.
Ooh, okay. I like
Finally,
rumors.
something that I know all the answers to. I'm like, my laptop's falling all over the place. I'm messy today.
You get a special graphic now in the bottom left-hand corner for people to know.
Oh, the
This is the gossip.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Look at her. She's adorable. Okay, let's do this. You ready?
I'm so ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Patrick, did you hear that Orlando wants to steal the Tampa Bay Rays? They have a stadium plan and they're ready to fight, especially because the Rays stadium is, quote, old and crappy.
I thought you were going to say old AF, which it is.
Yeah.
It's older than Coors Field. And you go, yeah, but the Rays aren't even as old. That was around for 10 years before the Rays stuck with that. I did hear that. I did hear, I can even remember 5 years ago, you know, some guy down there, maybe it's the owner of the Magic, saying we'll call the team the Orlando Dreams. Sounds good and all, and I think that brings a lot of tourism, but Orlando might be more of a double-A city. Give them a double-A team in the Southern League. I don't know about the big leagues.
Well, what do you think? Do you think what I said is true?
Yes.
It's mostly true. The quote, old and crappy, that I made up.
Oh, okay.
But the sentiment is still there.
The guy actually did say old AF, which is pretty great for a guy who's in his 70s.
But yeah, a group led by Magic co-founder Pat Williams, they unveiled artist renderings on Tuesday for a new baseball stadium to attract either a Rays move or an MLB expansion team. And the group that is putting this together is called the Orlando City Baseball Dreamers. The thing that's interesting about this plan, though, is that it includes $700 million in private funding, which would be the most private investment for a publicly owned MLB team. So they're putting together a significant amount of private money, which we know is an issue when teams want, no one wants their tax dollars to go to, no one wants their taxes to go up if they live in any particular city. So
that bodes well.
Interesting stuff. So $700 million in private funds. They still need $1 billion in public funding. Things are so expensive, but it would be a totally domed stadium.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
You got to have retractable, I would hope. You got to invest in the retraction.
Yes,
so
I would hope so.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I think Orlando has gotten passed up in '98. They were actually kind of in the mix. It might have even been the same owner, Pat Williams. But renderings. All I heard was renderings.
There's
'cause
renderings.
I'm excited. I think this might even be good to bring back and go into more detail on Friday on the Suzie Show because it's rendering. So
we love renderings.
Renderings equals ratings in this industry.
Sure.
Which we both know.
I will say, like the renderings, it's giving SoFi.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only saw one image. Is there more than just the one?
There's a few. Actually, there's a handful of renderings, and it is some nice looking stuff.
Alyssa, we've got our Friday thumbnail. It's
renderings.
Multiple renderings. Multiple. That's really eye catching. Multiple renderings.
Yes, renderings. It gets the people going.
It does.
All right. Do you think? Sidebar. Do you think? So Orlando is 100 miles away from St. Pete, where the Tampa Bay Rays play. Could Florida support two teams within 100 miles of each other?
The state can't even support two teams, let alone two within 100 miles. Now, that being said, if you're going to get partially a free stadium and you're going to get somebody paying the $2.2 or $2.6 billion for the expansion fee, you've got the ear of the commissioner. So they're in the hunt, even though I think we would probably have a similar situation to what's going on in Miami and in Tampa with the lack of attendance, despite a winning ball club there for the Rays. And there's been even some discussion. I don't know if you've heard, but like Disney World's like, you know what? Maybe we're going to leave Florida.
You know what?
I don't think that'll happen.
Florida's getting a little messy right now.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not Orlando.
Maybe not.
Hard pass.
All right, let's move it up to Milwaukee. The Brewers are moving their beers. Did you hear this, Patrick? The Brewers are moving their beer sales back up to the 7th inning because those drunk Milwaukee fans just can't handle that extra inning of drinking.
Really?
Do you think this is true?
No. But I need to know. I need to know if this is legit.
He thinks I'm lying.
I'm gonna say there's not that there's no way. I'm gonna say there's no way that that's true.
It's half true, half not. They are moving last call back to the 7th inning.
Why?
But they say it's for no reason in particular.
See, that's the thing is I don't understand. There has to be a reason.
You know what? It sounds like it didn't move the needle. So Brewers Senior Vice President for Communications, Tyler Barnes, said, quote, what we have experienced is that sale of all concessions drops off in later innings, and with the faster game times, the extra 15 to 20 minutes of sales has been materially insignificant. So long quote short, it didn't move the needle.
Yeah, people think I've got more time. Also, if you are keeping beer sales going until the 8th inning, you have to pay the workers. You have to pay the people who are working at the stands that money. So now you need to be selling that much more. That's why a lot of businesses are closed on Mondays because you're like, hey, it doesn't move the needle. Again, we know lingo.
Yes.
So, interesting. All right.
Yes. So unfortunately for Brewers fans, they were the first to move it and they're the first to move it back.
So that also makes me think, could we someday live in a world in which beer sales end after the 6th?
No, that's crazy.
But, you never know.
Patrick, that's insane.
What about Alyssa's upset over here? Visibly upset.
Me and Alyssa are about to fight you right now.
You know how MLB likes to just tweak the rules of some of their partner leagues, like in the Atlantic League with the double hook where they're like, oh, if your starting pitcher gets taken out of the game, you lose your DH, as if teams are like forcibly taking their starter out as some kind of advantage. It doesn't make sense. But I wonder if MLB would be like, hey, partner leagues, when the starting pitcher's out of the game, beer sales end. Like it makes no sense. But that would be an interesting experiment.
That would be chaos.
Fans would
Managers
be like,
would get like tomatoes thrown at them.
Fans would be like, I don't care. You need to sign an entire rotation of Mike Hamptons. We don't care if it costs $500 million. Get a good rotation so they can at least go 5 innings. We don't care if they give up 6 runs. We need to be able to buy our beers as long as the starting pitchers are still in the game.
That would be the craziest thing.
Maybe.
I sure hope not. I'm stressed. I have a very vivid imagination. I'm picturing the scenarios. It's not good.
Rob Manfred watches the show, so that's not a good one, Rob. Don't put that one on your list. Don't.
Let's get some more gossip going, shall we?
We shall.
Patrick, did you hear? The A's are going to tear down a hotel on the Las Vegas Strip to build their new stadium.
I didn't hear that exactly, but yes, because I think they bought some land that the old Tropicana Hotel is on somewhere. They've actually have like 2 pieces of land that they've bought or been working out buying, which does make me think it's not officially official that they're going to Las Vegas. There's still wiggle room.
There's still wiggle room, but it seems like this is a big step because this is in the works. So this is mostly true. So the A's eventual move from Oakland to Las Vegas just cleared a major hurdle. The team and Bally Corporation agreed that they can build a $1.5 billion stadium on a portion of the Tropicana Hotel site, which is on the southern end of the Las Vegas Strip.
So Bally's, that company that can't afford to pay all the baseball teams now wants to help bring a baseball team to Las Vegas.
You know what? Bally, I think the sports entertainment brand was sold to another company. They are they're owned by Sinclair, which owns a lot of local news stations.
Convenient. Just saying.
I
don't know.
You're just being confusing right now to people. I don't want people thinking that Bally's, who owns the casinos, owns the,
Are you a plant from Bally Sports Network?
No, I'm definitely not.
Are you on their payroll? Are you an apologizer?
No, I just want people to know where the money's going and where it's coming from.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Sell the team. Screw John Fisher and Dave Kaval. Yeah. Actually, I think on Friday, there's they've got a big protest coming out. Yeah.
That's the day?
I think Friday. Yeah, May 12th. So that's Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's
Friday. They got a big thing going down. We'll see.
Right. Let's move on. I got 2 more pieces of gossip for you. Excuse me. Did you hear, Patrick, umpire Marvin Hudson is DFA'd after missing 20 calls in a Mets Rockies games during this past series?
I absolutely did not, because umpires do not manipulate they've got a 40-man roster and a 40-man roster. They've got no sending people back, unfortunately. Their union is very strong, so I think that gossip very much is false.
Yeah, I mean, that part is false, but he did apparently miss 20 calls in a Mets-Rockies game. We have the ump scorecard. People, mostly Mets fans, are up in arms about this on Twitter, but apparently Marvin Hudson missed 20 ball and strike calls while working behind the plate in that 13-6 victory over the Mets.
It was favorable to the Rockies, which
was
nice. We'll take that.
Thank you, Marvin Hudson.
That's pretty good. Also, Mark saying in the chat, do you know if this is true? Did Paris Hilton own the Tropicana? Does Paris Hilton own the Tampa Bay Rays? This is what Mark's saying. Mark's starting his own
Not
The
owned
Gossip.
by Paris Hilton, owned by Hilton.
Same difference.
Actually, the older siblings of the Hilton family are the only ones who inherit the hotel. So her dad is not one of the members of the family that inherits the hotel.
Names are confusing.
They're just rich.
Names are confusing. Zach asking, are Vegas fans normally Diamondbacks fans? I don't know that they're really attached to anyone.
Well, I mean, according to, everyone, Vegas is local to the Rockies, so.
Chris Bryant, yep, is
Big time
Rockies fan, obviously
fan.
growing up. No, I mean, Reno is a AAA affiliate for the Diamondbacks, so there's that. But, Las Vegas is a big transplant city, so you put a team there, all the casinos are going to have suites. They're going to buy up a bunch of tickets, give them away to people when they come into town. So there's going to be a lot of empty seats, even though you're going to see 38,000 for the attendance, depending on how large the stadium or the new one that they get. But it's going to look like those Yankee games where all those seats behind home plate are empty because really people are going to the buffet to get steak and shrimp and all that stuff. So it's going to make money in Vegas. Whose territory is that exactly? I think it's ripe to have its own identity. So they'll be okay. They'll be all right.
Yeah. You want one more piece of gossip?
I would.
All right. Patrick, did you hear the Giants called up the Giants called up Casey Schmidt, but he missed the call because he was at the movie theater watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. Patrick, is this true?
Schmidt happens. So I'm going to say, I hadn't heard it, but I'm going to say, yeah, it did. That's
partially true.
Okay.
He was at the movies. He wasn't seeing the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh,
he was seeing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, just came out.
Yeah, so he did miss the call because he was in the movie theater, but he still made his debut, and he homered in his second Major League at-bat.
He did. He's a big Chris Pratt fan, so I think that's where the voice of Mario, and you got Lord, I don't know.
I've never seen a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
I've seen both of them. They're very good. They're actually entertaining. Okay. I don't do the superhero movies all that much.
Yeah.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy is a series that Star-Lord. That would be Chris Pratt's name. He's the Star-Lord.
Cool.
Great soundtracks.
Okay.
But very famously, I don't really like science fiction, and I don't really like superhero movies either. But sometimes they're really good.
Okay.
Sure. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is out in theaters today.
Is this an ad read?
And when you use code DNVR, all the popcorn on the floor is free.
Do you go around and collect all the uneaten popcorn after a movie?
I do the cups though.
You freaking raccoon, just scooping up all the trash.
I do take cups. I will go around after the movie and take cups. And you're the possum. You hang up in the rafters so you can stick around and watch other movies. That's it. Yeah. You have a day at the theaters. That's it. Just Susie's head poking down. You have special glasses so that when you hang upside down, it switches the vision around so it looks normal to you.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Does Shady Rays have that? That's another one. We know that the president of Shady Rays watches this in addition to Rob Manfred. So all these great ideas.
Free ideas, folks.
Free ideas.
Free ideas.
And free content over at Twitter too.
Yeah.
Still just free.
Still free.
Our thoughts and other people's thoughts from the company who jump into the account and say things at DNVR_Rockies. All kinds of different people using at Patrick D. Lyons.
I'm the only one using at the Susie Hunter, not just on Twitter, but on all platforms.
8-2 since April 30th.
That's fun.
7-2 this month. Best record in all of baseball. Your Colorado Rockies back-to-back road series wins. 3 road series wins.
Woo!
So much momentum going into that Suzie show, which is great, which is very perfect because you know what they say.
5 o'clock on Friday, by the way, before the game.
So that's a pregame.
It's a pregame.
That's a great pregame show to tune into, find out what's going on with the Phillies.
And I will have been at Clubhouse earlier, so the freshest quotes. Just really need y'all to know that. But what do they say something about shows like that?
Yes, they say it's only as good as your next Suzie show. And thankfully, it's that time because they only come once a week. Make sure you're locked in right here, Friday, 5 p.m. pregame on the DNVR Sports channel here on YouTube.